just a guy that does some amazing things on the table. But we're getting ready to tee it up here for another race to 7 in an alternate break format, and uh, we got we got Rick, we got Brett, we got a couple of desperados here. This ought to be quite entertaining. Looks like Mr. Mullins is on the break. I really haven't seen him play.
No, I think that's Chris Scarlato.
That's
That's
it.
Rick's uncle.
I, he's Mezz. I can't tell. That'll be my disclaimer.
Yeah, it definitely makes it difficult.
Well, we got a ball in hand coming in here. Brett is. I know Brett when I see him. I can tell. I know these other guys. So here we have a pretty good opportunity here. But a speed shot first sometimes can be tricky. And I guess he's playing from the 3 to the 5. He's gonna probably come one rail with a punch high right. Oh, he goes inside. You know.
Overran a little bit.
Yeah, he was playing for the corner, and he might have to call the carom play on the 7 if that's available. Now that looks a little tight to me. It might.
Probably place. I think might play safe here.
Yeah, he roll it up on top of the 7 ball, I would think. But these are still tough shots in the very beginning of a match when you've just been sitting for an hour,
Yeah.
and then you got to come up and hit this shot touch wise. A lot of people leave this ball short, or they crush it and it comes back and hits them in the face. Let's see what Rick comes up with here. Banked it.
Oh, he banked it.
But he played the 2-way shot, folks.
Yeah.
He played the bank, actually 3-way shot, the bank, the safe, in the position.
Yeah.
He played A, B, and C, and it came up with B, the safe. I think he can nick it, or he's going to play the kick. But even if he cuts his ball on the side, he'll lose his ball. So he's going to hit it direct, I think. Okay, well, we got some pocket billiards to be played here. This is a pretty thin ball, probably a safe behind the 9. He cuts the room rent. He hit it good. Beat the scratch. It's a little bit tenuous here. He might have to hit this with some pace to come 2 rails back, straight back and over again, not float it. He loses his toy. Yeah, that's the shot he played. He caught the ball a little, didn't catch it clean. Put him on the scratch line. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm seeing lots of old friends here today. I'm glad I stopped by. I'm truly enjoy this. This is heaven for me. That was a good shot there. A little inside stunner. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I saw him lunge a little bit, like he got forward on his in his stance, and instead of getting up, he went ahead and shot the ball. If there's any, I don't know if you have replay or anything, but he lunged.
yeah. We only have replay if we think about it really quickly. So
Okay, fair enough. I'm new on this stream anyway. I've been on a few. Done what tournaments in Vegas, the Mezz tour,
Planet Pools, APT.
all that.
Yeah.
Played in them all. Just this is a grind these days. Tournaments like this. Here's Louis.
If I would have known you were coming up, I'd have asked you to be my partner.
Well, I've hit. I'm dangerous for about an hour and a half. Where I can play speed to play with these. But with 2 hip replacements and some other things, I'm not quite what I was once.
The
for
knowledge,
length of time.
the knowledge is still there.
Well, thank you. I probably put 60, 70,000 hours in the pool, and when you put that in perspective, you work your 40-hour week. It's 2,000 hours a year. So, but they don't give old broke-down pool players a gold watch or even parade in the streets. They tell you might get $1,000 a month from Social Security if you're lucky. That's all they'll tell you. That is if you ran enough pool rooms. Mister, you're playing cue ball fouls only, or
yes, cue ball fouls only.
This is a real tasty looking layout here, to be sure. Nice graphics.
Oh, he went a little far. He's still gonna be fine.
Well, he's gonna leave Mr. Mullins a 4-5, but always the tricky part is where the 4 ball goes. You just got to hit this real smooth. He got 4. It hit the point and came back, and he's in line. But watch the 9 coming off the second rail.
Yep.
If he could find a little traffic jam there on that path.
Yep.
Here, I don't know if he can stiffen this bank enough, or he can cut the room rent down the rail. Oh, he can stiffen this. In other words, by hitting it hard, a little inside English, and taking some of the carry off this ball. But that's what he plays.
Looks like he's trying to cut it.
He hit it good.
But these are 4.5-inch diamond pockets. These aren't tables built to vend quarters like some of the other brands that we see around the tavern leagues and all. These are the tournaments they play, the international type events in Las Vegas, Reno. In 2004, that was the last tournament I really won. Was the senior national 9-ball in Reno. One of these tables. They really played good. Oh, tails from the short side. That's better than the dark side, though.
2004 is when I was just starting to play.
I was 56 years old then.
I was 20.
Oh, that's good. I trade places with you right now. My head on your body.
Oh, that'd be deadly.
Yeah, my head on your body. We could go out and we could really grind it out then. Okay, well, Scarlato and Stottlemyer take a 2-0 lead in this race to 7 contest here. We're at the Brews and Q's on the Boulevard. Fabulous place, good food. The place is nice and dark too, where the lights are on the table. Or you see how it reminds me of the old places that I started playing in the '60s and all that were. You could only see around the table. You couldn't really discern what was happening down the line anywhere, and it was much easier to focus and concentrate. So here we go.
One of my favorite old pool halls was like that, USA Billiards.
In Laurel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mr. Lee. He later came up with one in Rosedale on Philadelphia Road, and then later on after that he came up with one in Woodlawn in the Security Mall. Mr. Lee. He was a good player, a very deceptive player, good billiard player too. Good 3-cushion man. Okay, we're going to be checking wind currents here. We're going to see whether or not there are any crosswinds blowing over that 7-ball or not. Let's see what happens. Pop goes the weasel. He skinnied it. It got kicked out into the clear again, but overall, a respectable effort. Here, Rick might have an outside shot at pocketing the 9 if he can drive through this ball good with the cue ball, if that's the shot he's going to play.
Oh, he miscued.
Miscuey, a little east of St. Louis. He gives up ball in hand here, and generally that's going to indicate trouble. I'm not sure what he wants to do here.
Draw back, play the 3 in the other. Oh, he missed.
He lunged again. He jumped up. This guy might not be playing in a lot of events like this, because usually that's a sign of nerves. Reminds me of a place I saw Blind Faith in 1969. A place called the Whiskey A Go-Go. Uh-oh.
Ooh. That ball did not go.
No. It was a bandbox joint. The Doors were the house band there. Back in the days when I was in the Navy and was just of age, I got in to see Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker and Rick Gresh.
Wow. Must have been a great show.
Oh, yeah, it sure was. Let's see what Rick can come up with here.
That's a sporty shot.
Well, that's one of those in betwixt, in between looking leaves where you either got to play to. I don't think he can hold it there and kill it from the distance, and then if he goes into the ball, he sends the ball up table and stays on the rail, or he skins the ball. You know, he's going to try to draw into it. It looks like. That was as good as he could have ever hoped.
Yep. Yeah. And he gave himself a good angle to get down on the 6.
Yes.
This gentleman here, I got him coming 2 cushions with left hand ball and didn't hit it. Thought he was going with a little lower and come on the other side of it, but. I still can't see what the player sees. These are great camera angles and great looks on this screen and stream. This is a treat for me. Oh, the destructor of youth. Inside English. Part of what I teach is I teach people how to measure the deflection, even with all these low deflection rods that they're coming up with these days. Anybody says they don't have any deflection in their cues is naive.
He got a good roll out of it.
Oh yeah, it's a big ball, 2 rails. He hit it 1, and that's still not bad. They
got half a pocket in the side to shoot it at. Can shoot it in the corner, but only one corner. The 8 covers the other.
Yeah. You see, the big table selection is going to be, to me, a little different than this selection. On the 7-foot table.
On the big table, you would play safe here, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. I'd go to the middle diamond bottom rail and bank the 6 ball up to the middle diamond top rail, or close. But he cuts the room rent, but unfortunately runs into some traffic and. Is gonna find himself in a peccadillo here. Let's see what he comes up with. I think it's just gonna be, I don't know, if he thinks he's gonna jump this, he's many are called and few are chosen.
That's a tough jump.
From the distance, yeah.
And keeping that 7 ball on the table? Or the cue ball also.
It's his mission, should he decide to accept it, is to jump this 8 ball and come back alive. Nice call. If the pocket was on the next table, he had a better chance than that table. He could almost hopped it, gone into the second table, and scored it there, like these trick shot videos you might see. I don't know. You see here, Rick's real accomplished. He'll be right back where his hand is.
A little extra juice on that ball.
That's all right. Brett would like to just start every game from there.
Yeah.
he'd be in the Hall of Fame 1,000 times over if that was his. He had to just step up and make that shot once a game. I don't think he'd be beaten too many times.
No.
Well, anyway, we have 3 games to 0 in favor of Rick Scarlato versus Brett Stottlemyer, originally from York, Pennsylvania. He's a former Player of the Year on the Action Pool Tour. I know he's gone high in the U.S. Amateur in his times, where he had high finishes in big time national amateur events. He's a very, very strong player.
Also, recently crowned Maryland state champ.
He again, that's no surprise. He's a very, very consistent. Has lots of game. 2 rails, not quite. Well, this is the opportunity for them to get back in this match a little bit. That's. Hey, Curtis. Hey, that's somewhere between suspect and I don't know what Mr. Mullins can do with this.
He got on it.
Well, we're going to see a measle flash going back and forth across the table 2-3 times. He might fall on the 5 near the side pocket. Then yeah.
See, I like just hitting this with right, running into the 7.
With the right, though, you got to aim for more cut because of the deflection factor. Even though he was hitting the balls with looking like a Revo or a fiberglass type shot, he didn't allow for that cue ball to start in before it goes out.
Yes.
This shot, too.
See, just a little right, running to the 7.
Or the old saying goes, carry over is fair play.
Yep.
Here, these are shots Brett excels on. Playing off of rails because he was always a good bar table player. He played terrific on the big tables, too. Lots of right English. That looks ideal to me. Nice stunner over there. Rick Scarlato and Brett Stottlemyer take a 4-0 lead over Chris Scarlato and Mr. Mullins.
It's Dave Mullins.
Dave Mullins, okay. Never saw the gentleman before. Some of these guys are. That looks like Sean Wilkie over there, is it?
He is here. I don't see him at the moment. But yes, there he is, sitting down at the table.
I see the cap. It's a wonder he can even shoot anymore as much as he texts. Yeah, Sean is a great guy, great player. Just one of the nicer guys I've ever met, nicer young men that I've ever met in this great sport.
Yeah. Looks like Sean and his partner Justin Mast have won their first 2 matches, and they'll be playing Nathan Childress and Shane Wolford in their next match.
Two Virginia young guns. I know both those boys. They're from Nathan Childress got second in the first APT event this year down in Q Master. and they're both terrific young players. Good junior programs at that Diamond Billiards down there where Nathan came out of.
Not sure if Shane's been here before, but Nathan actually won the last large 9-ball tournament we had here. 72 players back in September, and he came in first, undefeated through the field.
He had the APT event beat. He had Raymart Lim beaten, and missed about a hanger 7-ball. It was sick. Nice young man, very respectful. Shane Wolford is from Roanoke, Virginia, and his father and mother owned the Wolf's Den down there in Roanoke. It was going to be a action stop this year, but the COVID canceled all that. Yeah, I'm just getting a wave there from Nathan. Yeah, he's played regularly on our APT. We're going to be down there in mid-November at Diamond Billiards for the Virginia State 8-ball. Okay, well, looks like a hiccup there from Brett.
That's one thing about these doubles tournaments. When you know that you're outclassing your opponent, it's harder to bear down sometimes because you're having so much fun.
Well, the thing is, in a race to 7, all it takes is a couple of dog balls to turn a match around.
I agree.
Dave Mullins knocks in the 9 and gets on board with Chris Scarlato, and they trail 4 games to 1, which is at least possibility with an alternating break format, and it's like a nice group of players here today. That's for sure. I see Wilkie. I see those 4 boys that were just playing the last match, and a bunch of others around here.
Yeah, you have Wilkie, Schuff, Nathan Childress, Dylan Spohr, Joe Tomkowski.
I think I'm seeing Bo Newport over there too.
No,
No.
that's Cap.
Same thing. No. That's how I want to get punched, right? As Bo had shaved his head. I saw Bo not that long ago down in another place. But
Yeah, both still playing one pocket a lot.
oh, yeah. That's what he does. His son Mike was a pretty good player, too.
Mike comes in here every once in a while.
Kind of surprised he's not playing in this.
That looks like he didn't quite eat his Wheaties on that one. A side pocket kill on the 9 might be lots of high left English.
Oh, he hit that ball good.
Hit that ball so good he killed it inside the 9. Most times they like to slide a little bit and catch that 9. That was a hell of a shot. But he's still got a funny angle. He's going at the 7 with the follow. Yeah, he's going to jack up and try to punch it over. He's going to lose his toy, too. See, in matches like this, these little guys might not be up to your shooting level, Fargo-wise or anything, but the 7, 8, 9 ball in hand turns anybody into a 750 Fargo Raider, even if they're only 450.
Yeah, I don't even think I tried to miss a 7. I'll run right into it. It's fine.
He looks like he's going to draw it to the side. That's a good natural shot. Just natural floater down the table. Play it, either put it in the side and catch the diamond about right there, the first diamond, or play the corner. But that's the short side. He has to play the side. That's what he was looking at. He's going to probably play the side and go to the first diamond. He had a little room in that pocket. It's hard to quite tell, but he did good.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had that
See
angle.
that move? That guy moves
Yeah.
when he's down there in the stance. He moves. Yeah, we can fix that. I got the technology. I got pianos that can hoist from the ceiling and get down on your back and just force you to stay down.
I think they outlawed torture.
I'll tell you a place that how I learned how to stay down on balls. I played in a place in the early 1970s that featured a full-grown African lion running around in the place loose.
What the? Was it Mike Tyson's pool room?
No, it was a gentleman named Ronnie Schmuck,
It sounds like it.
and well, Ronnie was a guy that usually you send him to collect bad debts and do some dirty work for you from time to time. But Ronnie had that pool room, and one day a guy came in and owed $800, and he gave Ronnie this beast for collateral, and it turned out to be a lion. It's a great story, but we're playing pool here.
I think I can speak for everybody listening. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I walked in one day, and this was like on like a Tuesday afternoon, and we're gonna go to Pimlico to play the daily double, and we were waiting on a guy to come in and work for Ronnie to run the pool hall while we went to Pimlico. So Ronnie's got the racing form and is handicapping. How you doing, Ronnie? And he says, "Oh, I'm not doing bad." He said, "That's
Wow, that's a great shot.
nice play there." So, Ronnie, I said, "What's this over there in the corner and laying on this blanket?" And he says, "It's a lion." And I said, "Come on." And he said, "Go over, take a good look, George. It's a lion." And sure enough. And I said, how the hell did you get this? And the guy said the guy owed $800 and he left it on collateral. So now he's going to come back with the 800 and a little extra juice and take the lion. He said, "You know any place I could get rid of this lion, George?" And I said, "Not off the top of my head." So anyway, the guy never comes back with the 800 because he gets locked up without bail. These are the types of people we were talking to in those days. And meanwhile, Ronnie is stuck with this lion, and he's trying to unload this lion. And of course, he isn't getting too many buyers. It's definitely going to be a buyer's market by that point in time. So anyway, this lion, Ronnie is stuck with it, and he's feeding it, and it starts to grow, and it starts to grow. And finally, he's had this lion 8 months, and it's running around loose in the place. There's a curtain in the back with a little back room where there's the card table, the dice table, and a little room with the star in case you were in a state of where you were. He also had some stuff going on with. That's a nice bank shot there.
That's a really good shot.
And Rick is staring right down at a routine looking situation here. Just has to stay down and stroke it. Hit a little rough, but it went down the hatch.
Yeah. Five
So
two.
5'2". So anyway, this lion is growing up, and one day we're sitting in the pool room in the morning, and in comes a guy with a leather case and nice coat. He's well dressed, and I asked him if he wanted to play some. It was like noon or so, and he said, "No, I'm on my lunch hour. Don't have time to get involved with anything. Just want to hit some balls for a minute." So I said, "Okay." We went back to the Daily Double. So anyway, the lion was sleeping in back of this curtain, and he heard and your rites of passage into this place was a package of ground beef, and the lion would eat it right out of your hand. True, true. So so now so now here we got this lion, and the lion
Oh, good shot.
comes up to see what's going on. And maybe there's a little meal up there for him.
No, there's a meal. It was just still breathing.
This guy is shooting a ball. He's at the top of the table, and he's shooting from his right to left, and he's on one leg, and the lion brushes right up alongside of him, and stops, and then goes up to the other side. It's a 6-table pool room, one row of 6 tables. So this guy stays frozen in the stance, and he says, "Please tell me that wasn't a lion that went by." And Ronnie says, "No, it's my German Shepherd. She's a little big. This thing had to weigh 275 pounds, this thing by now." It was So this guy finally gets up out of his stance, and very slowly and cautiously he gets down to the foot of the table, and he looks down, and here's a lion on its haunches, and then the lion yawns, and you see teeth about this long. And this guy starts to backpedal. I've never seen him before, and I've never seen him again. But this guy backpedals, and he's he's out the door. And meanwhile, he's got his jacket in his hand and his cue, but he's left his cue case behind. It was an old Brunswick Centennial case that later turned out to be worth lots of money. So now Ronnie was just moaning his luck. He said, "Damn," he says, "I'm not only getting beat for all this game time here," he says, "the lion's eating me out of house and home." And I said, "Well, I'll take a look at the good part of this, Ronnie." And he said, "What's that?" And I said, "Look at all these cases you're collecting here." And then I went over and picked up the case and tossed it in with all the other ones, and I noted a little foreign sniff. The olfactory sensors went ablaze, and my olfactory sensors went ablaze. And what happened was that we thought maybe the lion had, done some stuff. In fact, there's a guy right there that walked in with the mask that can verify this story. He was there too. And the guy had actually messed himself as he was walking out. He evacuated in his drawers. I cleaned it up. I don't know who our audience is, but then about a month later, Al Sanders' Eyewitness News comes in, and they interview Ronnie. "Is it true you have a lion in there?" Ronnie is denying it now because he knows the heat's on. Meanwhile, the lion is behind the curtain, and it gets up. In those days, they filmed all the interviews, not videotaped them. And he had a cameraman and he had a light man. And the lion trots up and sits right next to the light man. And the light man, needless to say, he froze. And Ronnie says, just don't, no sudden movements. And Ronnie ended up getting in trouble, get fined $5,000, put on probation. The line got sent to a game like the Everglades or something, some kind of national park,
Gaming preserve.
a game preserve.
Yeah.
So that was that, and it was a 5-2. 6-2 now. Rick Scarlato. I digress because it doesn't seem like this match is yep. Yes, that's my man. He old guy named Randy the fireman. Guy, remember when he was a kid coming to the pool hall. What's that? I got these guys laughing a little bit, having fun. But Ronnie, he fell into disfavor with the people that were really behind that place, which was, the oldest known gang, and well, he lost favor. But that was neither here or there. It was just something to toss into a relatively strangely played match. One is in the side. It looks like.
Oh, they don't have a shot on the 2. I'm kicking that.
This is where you utter the shriek of the mutilated. You take a swing at the kick, say "aye," and just hurl off into the darkness.
Yeah, because at 6'2", you have nothing to lose.
Right. He might even make it with the cue ball.
Oh.
But the intrigue continues here.
Good save.
Now Brett's really sharp. He can kick.
Bank it.
Kick bank at 2 rails from the pike position. His degree of difficulty is 8.8. Or he might even be able to slide into it if he pops a deuce. Oh. That 9 is it's got a force field around it. You know this, Karam. You got to ambulate your canine. In other words, walk the dog. High ball.
Yep.
What just happened?
I don't think he can get the draw fast enough. He's come up short. I think that 9 ball is worn out of its welcome there, and it needs. Oh, it's all over. Looks like Peggy Lee says that's all there is.
All right, our audio has gotten a little weird here. I'm going to have to reset some things. Hold on one